Amazon is letting delivery drivers do deliveries where they shouldn't. 500 million Facebook accounts with personal information have been leaked online, and previously mentioned great business Spirit Airlines kicking a health hazard off their flight. Suit up, soldier, let's jump into the battleground.
Our planet is under attack. We are at war. Information and facts used to be easy, but with mainstream media minefields, who knows what the real truth is? But we do, and we are ready to defend it with you. Get ready to learn the real truth and armor up, soldier. This is the Battleground with Dean Warbler.
Hello everyone, welcome to the Battleground with Dean Warbler. I'm the person after the whiff, and it's nice to see you. You look different. Are you okay? You look tired. But enough with the pleasantries. I see a truth bomb in the distance. That's right, folks. We got a truth bomb, and it's imploding something I use every single day of my life. Now, normally, I would give no thought. I mean, that's why you pay monthly subscription fees, because come on, you feel less terrible. But then, something changed. Or rather, something hit the fan.
That, of course, sparked a wave of reporting, proving definitively not only do drivers in particular, but also sometimes fulfillment center workers have to pee in bottles, but that Amazon knew about the practice because they had documented it in internal memos that the one and only Ken Klippenstein got his hands on.
I used to know of people who would give delivery drivers water bottles. Shame on you! Look what you've done. This is why you act like your delivery drivers don't exist, and I'm completely okay paying them. I'm sorry, but I don't care. As long as Carlos from FedPS leaves my freshly minted Bakugan on my doorstep, I couldn't really care less. And Amazon really wasn't helping the situation by trying to fight fire with fire.
Over the weekend, Amazon apologized for its now infamous peeing in bottles tweet that came from the official Amazon account in response to Representative Pocan about controversy about worker conditions. Amazon saying this was an own goal. We're unhappy about it. We owe an apology to Representative Pocan. The tweet didn't receive proper scrutiny. We need to hold ourselves to an extremely high accuracy bar at all times.
Amazon, don't use fire. You guys ship stuff in cardboard boxes. I mean, even my thought process doesn't stoop so low. But maybe, and I hate to say it, but maybe the mainstream media has a point on this one. I mean, what's at the core of the battleground? The reason of truly fighting to right the wrongs of the past for a better future. And I think a better future involves less of, well, you know. And it's not just Amazon having leakage problems. Our good social media manipulators of Facebook have a few leaks of their own.
That the information for over 500 million Facebook users has been leaked online. As far as what the information includes, it's things like phone numbers, Facebook IDs, full names, locations, birthdays, bios, email addresses. As far as how widespread this is, reportedly it affects users in 106 countries, including the United States with 32 million users, the UK with 11 million, and India with 6 million.
So you're telling me random people on the internet can freely see information that they can see if they sign up for a free Facebook account anyway? I mean, if a hacker wants to use my locked Facebook account I only used when I was a child to trade fruit with my Momo in Farmville, then go ahead, a hacker from Indonesia. I mean, the data was scrapped from an old vulnerability that was patched on Facebook's website 2 years ago. So, thankfully, it's not current information. That's right, Dave. Hackers online don't know about your private pandemic stamp collecting group. But it doesn't matter. Hackers sold this information online in web forums to the highest bidder. You might get another robocall or two, but it's not like I'm not already bothered by getting more offers for my car's extended warranty as it is. I'm sorry. Hold on just 1 second. This Oh, this number's from another state. Hold on just a second. Hello? Let me put on.
Would like to speak to Dean Warbler about receiving an exclusive extension on their car's warranty.
Okay, they must be looking for another Dean Warbler. But finally, if you've been watching our little show here, you might remember this.
One of the questions I get asked the most is, what airline do you fly? The fellow spring breakers, the best airline is Spirit Airlines.
Spirit Airlines.
Yes, Spirit Airlines, Dean. That's what I said.
We now know the full extent of Spirit Airlines' care for their customers after they kick a rule-breaking family off of a flight.
Non-compliance with the mask. We're wearing a mask. Wearing a mask. She's not wearing it. The baby? Wearing a mask. A lot of babies are not wearing masks. We keep putting it on. Wearing a mask. A lot of kids not wearing masks. Who's been sitting next to me? Was I wearing a mask?
He was wearing it the whole time.
Guys, was I wearing a mask all the time for your buddy? I'm sorry. But the kids not using.
Well, the good news is I think that this story has been over-exaggerated. I don't see any legs or feet flying in the air, but I guess if the tweet was titled, "Oopsie whoopsie on flying board thingy," I guess it wouldn't get the clicks the story rightfully deserves. Because time and time again, an airplane flight confrontation stories have bits of turbulence. This is why I might actually be on the fence about extending my car's warranty, especially if I'm going to have to drive. I can't be worrying about getting in a tussle with a flight attendant because I don't eat my peanuts properly. I'm sorry, okay? The TSA won't let me bring my nutcracker through security, but I digest. Maybe this whole flight attendant thing needs to be more forward-thinking. We're only a few years away from this, especially if Amazon decides to develop it. Might need to save some space for empty water bottles. We'll be right back with the return of Dr. Farts and expert opinions on how to handle your relationship in a pandemic. More up next on the Battleground. Welcome back, everyone. One recurring theme this season has been the pandemic. And finally, it seems like some light is peeking from the end of the proverbial tunnel. But much like what Taco Bell does to my digestive system, the pandemic has done enough everlasting damage, and nothing has been damaged more than relationships. To finally get to the bottom of a disaster for the idea of everlasting love, we have marriage/divorce expert Dr. Farts.
Actually, it's Dr. Flatulence now.
Oh, my apologies, doctor. Lesson learned. Don't leave it to the PA to get this information right. So, Dr. Flatulence, tell us, why have divorce rates spiked so immensely during these trying times, and how can I cause you to get one too?
Oh, Dean, you joke just like my ex-husband. It's all in the data. Divorce rates have spiked all over the world over the past year. It seems to have a causation effect matching most outbreak-prone areas. A spike in COVID usually means more restrictions, and thus more strains in isolated situations.
So you're saying there are different strains of COVID in isolated situations?
Not at all. I meant more strains on relationships. I know I'm the expert, but maybe some perspective will help. Did a lockdown put a strain on your relationship?
Nice try, but you're not going to break me that easily, puppy eyes. Can we please stay on topic, Dr. Flatulence, for our audience's sake?
Fine. You want to hear the truth, Dean? Is that what you're obsessed with on this show? Relationships ain't nothing. Take it from my experience. Do you know what it's like to be in the same room with him?
I mean, I guess it depends on the way you look at it.
I'm done with it, Dean. Marriage made sense when I was young and dumb, but I'm 25 now, and I know I don't have a lot of life left to live. I'm done worrying about trying to figure out what I'm worried with.
I'm not the expert here, doctor. Trust me, it said so on the call sheet this morning when I came in, but maybe I can add just
Thank you for a liberating transition to going back to the single life I used to enjoy before getting married. Now, just thinking about it, whose name is Farts? Why would anyone want to be called Farts?
I mean, it's not like that was his choice, to be fair.
I'm just ready to live a new life, Dean. To get out there and make it happen. New person, that's me. Dr. Flatulence.
That's exactly right. Who cares where it came from? But once you're single, you can change it to whatever you like. Like Warbler.
You joke just like him, but at least they make sense.
One quick question to wrap up. Marriage or divorce? Which one do you prefer?
That's a difficult question, Dean. While marriage means commitment to someone so much that you want to stay with them for the rest of your life, divorce means commitment to someone so little you want them gone for the rest of your life. I hope that answers your question.
Not the question of what's your email address, but hopefully our fact checkers will find out more. We have to take a quick break, but after this, join me with our Conspiracy Corner. Are you still there?
Third generation Bearcat.
All right. Well, I wasn't joking about getting that email address. Welcome back. Today, I want to discuss the contents of a packet of papers that recently came across my desk. I get a lot of interest piling up on here from potential collaborations, leads for stories, other acting jobs, requests to do birthday parties, or my favorite, vague threats. And I take them all very seriously. I go through each one very meticulously. Nothing gets by me. So, why dedicate an entire segment to this? Well, it's all about what's inside. Welcome to Conspiracy Corner. This packet detailed the information on things called micro devices. Devices that are super teeny tiny, so small in fact they cannot be seen with the naked eye. In fact, that thousands of them could fit on the tip of your finger, or the head of a pen, or perhaps a cotton swab. Maybe even the cotton swab they use to test us for the novel coronavirus, which healthcare professionals have been doing for the hundreds of millions across the globe. And I know, I get it, we talk about the coronavirus a lot. It's just a part of our lives for the time being. It's temporary. Just like to fake news, wearing masks and washing your hands after you use your water bottle, it's not going to last forever. But like every event that causes us to further polarize when we should be using it as an opportunity to come together to work for the betterment of everyone, there are some wacky theories surrounding it involving super science, disinformation, and likely a little black magic. This sci-fi theory suggests that when we are tested for the virus, when that swab is shoved up your nose, penetrates your brain, and makes spicy your soul, they get you. They get you right then and there. They get you. You know what happens? Of course you don't. If you're like me, and you're regularly tested because you're highly valued, or you have bad health insurance and can't afford a trip to the ICU, your free testing site is your second home, your third space. After my 15-minute test gives me the good old neg and says that I can live another week, I'm walking on air until I have to touch a door handle. But with this new piece of information, my weekly ritual of getting tested and having my chin caressed by the sticky gloved hand of Cheryl, that's the only woman at my clinic who agrees to test me, it's completely ruined. And I no longer trust the woman who filled the spot of my absent mother. But enough about me. These microdusts, as if I needed another reason to distrust the government and maternal figures, this nano device, aka smart dust, aka tiny tech, aka peculiarly pequeño, potentially poisonous particles can be ingested, injected, infiltrating, and invading to the temple I call my body. Imagine doing the color run, but getting blasted with tiny GPS chips instead. And as if we don't already give that out willingly on our phones, well, that's a bad example. You know when you get an itch someplace on your body for seemingly no reason at all? Next time you scratch an itch, can you imagine the future of technology being absorbed right into your pores? These devices can, and are, being delivered to us unknowingly and unwillingly every single time I put a swab in my mouth. These are star-shaped devices that can be easily placed within their victim, like being deposited into our nasal cavity when we get tested. These devices then expand inside the host body when temperatures are just right. This biomedically engineered super devil is designed to mimic a parasitic worm that latches onto the intestines of its host. Once inside of you, they reach approximately 98.6 degrees. They latch on and release small doses of whatever drug the doctors infuse them with. They are using these devices to vaccinate us without our knowledge or consent. They're so concerned with us getting vaccinated that, according to this theory, they would do so at a time when we are the most vulnerable. We think we're safe, but here's the government putting little devices in the cavities of our brains. Where else have they stuck their probing devices, huh? Do we even want to know? Do we think we're safe in our homes, public restrooms, doctors' offices, Chick-fil-A's? We can't assume we're safe anywhere anymore. What if when this information gets out and the government targets those of us that can afford to be vaccine hesitant with full force? What if instead of spraying for mosquitoes in neighborhoods, they sprinkle smart dust on our lawns? Fluoridated water? Ha! Not anymore. It'll be hydration with a little vaccination. If you do something sneaky in a very obvious way, you can get away with anything. Nanodust vaccine in placement, hiding in plain sight. This is why, when this series is over, I am retiring to an old Soviet Union-era underground bunker I found in the woods as a teen. My friends would go there to make out and have parties, but not me. I would sit in the corner and ponder the possibilities of giving this bunker new life, because I knew the Love Shack was meant for more. It would eventually come on to be my home when everything hits the fan. And I know what you're thinking now. Dean's crazy. No, Dean's prepared. Which is why I'm stocking up on Ranger buckets. For just $20.95.95, you can have 268 servings of healthy, organic, China-free, shelf-stable food in a nifty bucket. When I can afford one, I purchase one of these bad boys and store it in a dry place here in the studio. Usually I go through it before I can purchase the next one, and it just becomes my daily food supply. But when surveillance birds and tiny tech take over, hopefully after I make it big, I will be fully prepared for whatever atrocities the state commits. You might be concerned, but that's good, because it makes you aware. You can do whatever you want, but now that you know that the government is vaccinating us through micro devices the size of dust particles, you can't unknow it. So grab your Swiffer, stay away from blacked out vehicles, and be safe and smart. And no matter what happens, know that Dean Warbler is backing you up in your conspiracy corner. Stick around, and I'll tell you how you can be featured on the show. Before we finish tonight's show, I wanted to wrap up with a request. This show has been the gift of a lifetime, and I wanted to give you at home the chance to learn a little bit about me. Pull your phone out and ask me a question on Twitter @DeanWarbler, and ask anything you'd like to know. Seriously, I'm an open book. Don't know what to ask? Well, here's a few examples to give you the right idea. How did you come up with your show? Well, it's simple. I was scrolling on my phone and realized I have a duty I should be doing for the greater good. And then I went on Craigslist, put up a job posting offering $2.50 an hour for crew people, found an abandoned warehouse right off the highway, and stole cameras from a high school audio-visual classroom. Sorry, Billy, guess you can't report on how crappy your cafeteria food is. Okay, I lied. The warehouse isn't abandoned. Obviously, it's my family's. Who are your inspirations in reporting? Such an astute question, me. I wonder what the answer is. Well, my inspiration? It's not just people. It's the actual act. The act of giving you the concise, no dice, fair game news with a conscience. And hopefully, I've been delivering. Thank you for your question, Dean. So remember, send in your questions on Twitter @DeanWarbler or use the hashtag Hashtag behind the curtain. If your question's good enough, it might make next week's show. Well, this is all the time for this week's episode of The Battleground. Thank you to our producers, our lovely crew, and thank you for watching. Remember, why read the news when you can be the one making it? Good night.